Hi everyone. So I'm doing this intro after killing the boss and capping the boss. So this is a cap video, and that is the team I used for this, and it's super expensive. As you can see, the power level is at 135k. So it is an expensive build, and you probably don't even need this build. I could have done this. I've been doing the same team for the last 4 days. So if this team and the strategy I'm about to use looks familiar to you, yes, since Sora and I used the same strat, which was suggested by some really smart guys over at the FFBE Discord server. And funnily enough, I was the first one to ask whether this was doable. Some smart guy did the calculations, and we just copied it, but he had the better team, he had the better gear. I had to wait until today to EX +2 Sora and Riku, so they deal enough damage. And Sinsa pretty much just had better gear right from the get-go than me, which is the reason why he could cap this before me. Okay, so let's go through the team. Mastermind Zorn, he's built for a little bit of damage. His main job is to pretty much steal buffs and hide, which means that he's not going to get dispelled, implying he needs 110 or better wind and earth resistance. And as you can see, he does that, and that is the gear he's using. I'm using some DPS weapons on him, like I said, even though I should have swapped those two weapons around, but it's fine. That's the abilities. And yeah, his job was pretty much chaining with Alina, and the trick here is to chain bolting strike, AR, and I will get to that in a kill video later, and you will see why. Alright, that's the gear. Let's move on to Sora. His base form really doesn't matter, to be honest. I gave him a lot of LB fill, which was from my very first attempts while I was still using Ibarra. That was last week. No, that was on Monday and Tuesday, right? Monday and Tuesday where I was still using Ibarra. And I needed to fill his LB quickly for turn 4. Totally unnecessary. I stopped using Ibarra on Tuesday already, or Wednesday. Yeah, it was on Wednesday, I believe. And started using Sora's LB exclusively. Those are the abilities. He's using Riku's vision card as well at level 10. So this is his LB form, which is super strong, and it's a super STMR heavy, as you will see. So we're using strong weapons, Dark Ragnarok, for maximum amount of attack. So he has a 4.5k attack, which is a lot. Technically, I don't need to use Hermes Sandals, even though I have 200, but I do have Riku's STMR as well, but it doesn't fit well into the ability side of things. As you can see, it is STMR heavy, Vampires and Lion's Heart, Guardian of Light, Exceptional Ingenuity. It's 4 STMRs right here. And like I said, he's using Riku's vision card. I do have Riku's vision card twice. I just want to mention this. I do have it twice at level 10 even. Okay. And Sora's projected limit burst damage is around 900 million to 1.1 billion. He's really strong, and he's doing the bulk damage for this fight, according to FFB equipped, that is. But the estimate was very accurate. You will see that Sora will deal 1 billion damage on his own on this very attempt you're about to see. Next up is FaZe. She's our passive provoke evasion tank. She has the necessary resistances, as you can see, but I'm not going to use her standard form that much. Those are the abilities, by the way. She's using her own vision card too, but it doesn't matter. And she will spend most of her time in her Brave Shift, which has the same abilities and equipment pretty much. And her Brave Shift has the necessary resistances as well. She will also chain Stardust Ray on the kill attempt to boost the chain count. Next up is Starlight Alina. I geared her the best I could. Oh, by the way, I forgot about Sora. Sora in his Brave Shift as 300% human killer, 300% limit burst damage. Now it's super important that your main damage dealers, which are Sora, Riku, and Tifa, have 300% human killer as well as 300% LB damage. And I do have that on all three of them. All right, let's move back to Starlight Elena. So that is the gear she's using. Like I mentioned before, everyone needs 30% or more wind and earth resistance. So she's using Knight's Medal, which is Awakened Rain's STMR. Provides 30% to all, which is a super good STMR, mind you. And those are the abilities. Again, very STMR heavy, as you can see. And she's using her own vision card. Her Brave Shift really doesn't matter. She will only stay there to buff the 200% human killer and 300% attack magic buff, but that's pretty much all about it. So 30% resistances, the rest doesn't matter really. And in her base form, she has the least amount of human killer, 125. She's just here pretty much to increase the chain score and chip in some damage, but really the main damage comes from Riku, Sora, and Tifa. Those three already should technically cap damage on their own, especially at EX plus 2. Now, if you do not have Sora and Riku at EX plus 2, you really want to get every ounce of damage out of your team. Meaning you should gear Starlight Elena properly. You should aim for 200 human killer, as well as gear Zorn a little bit more offensively. As good as you can, technically. Okay, let's move on to the next one, who is Riku. So his base form really doesn't matter. You will only power up and use his limit. So those are the abilities. You don't need any of this, by the way. Just make sure he has 30% wind resistance and 10% earth resistance or more. 90% come from Phasey anyway, or 100% if you choose to use Lagoon Shell, which is fine as well. And those are the abilities, but the real kicker here is his Brave Shift, and as you can see, 4.4k attack. He's heavily loaded on really good gear, I should say. Those are the equipments he's using, and these are the abilities. Again, fair amount of heavy gearing. He's using also his own vision card at level 10. So yeah, might be a little bit tough to replicate this strat if you do not have his vision card as well, but you could use a second copy of Sora's STMR, for example. And he also has 300% human killer, 300% demon killer. And you do not need resistances at all, because the only turn where you will change into the Brave Shift is on the kill turn. So his resistances don't matter at all. Okay, and last we do have our girl Tifa, who's dealing a bunch of damage, to be honest. She's using Soul of the Martyr, so she can dual cast while she's not Brave Shifted. Let me just pick the dual cast, please. Okay, so and enable magic to be used twice in a turn. And she's using Judgment Staff, which is no, it's not Forecast. I don't know whose STMR that is, but it's providing Dispelga. And we will use this to dispel a team. And you will need this staff. You cannot do this whole run without a Dispelga. And you will see why. Because there's one turn, and I believe it's turn 5, where everyone is busy doing something, and you cannot Thousand Needles and use Bushido. You do not have the space to do so. So you need Dispelga on your team, somehow. Alright, but the main damage comes from her Brave Shift, of course. Again, this is super STMR heavy. As you can see, I'm at 3.9k attack, which is very high for Tifa. She's also EX plus 2. I was wondering whether I should get her to EX plus 3. I don't have the necessary shards just yet, but I could technically get them. But yeah, it's just minuscule damage amount at this point. 3.9k, as you will see, is super STMR heavy. So these are the abilities. Again, Red Hellebore, Lunav's Cloves, it's all very expensive. Coin of Fate. Those are the abilities. She's using Sora's STMR as well. So very expensive. And she's using Cloud's Vision card at level 10 as well. For maximum amount of damage. I would have liked to have a third copy of Sora's Riku's Vision card, but I don't have it. It's fine. And she also has a 300% human killer and 335 LB. It's a little bit much, but I mean, it is what it is. What am I going to do with courage to move on, right? There's nothing literally else what I could equip that would make this fight easier. It is what it is, right? Okay, that is the team. And you're about to see the kill video right now. Have fun. Alright, let's do this, cap this boss and get over with. Dark Visions for this month, or the November Dark Visions I should say, because we'll be getting Dark Visions in another 3 weeks again or so. Okay, that's gonna be a long run, because we're going to turn 8. Alright, turn 1, Sora will gust the attack. FaZe shifts. She doesn't need to shift though. Because you could use Lagoon Shell. It provides 100% earth resist. It's the same. I'm not using Lagoon Shell because I'm using Heated Beach Volleyball and everyone is geared towards 30% wind and earth resist anyway, so whether I'm using Lagoon Shell or Heated Beach Volleyball really makes no difference. The only difference makes is using Healing Ripples to fill LB gauge to the team. But as we do have a lot of turns until we need to LB, it's a non-issue even if the bug to the cooldowns is restored at some point. Elena is going to STMRs, doesn't need to, honestly. Tifa, Riku, Zorn, just guard, right? Yeah, they just guard. But with Starlight Elena using her Stellar Matrix, you make sure to have her LB up and running by turn 6 100% of the time. But again, no need to. So Elena shifts and starts her Brave Shift cooldown. She just guards now. Tifa is going to double Dispelgar. I'm using the Dispelgar trick, so you need to be a little bit quick with your fingers for this. And target the team. That should have worked. It did. Perfect. Repeat on Sora and FaZe. Lena is shifted. You could hide Zorn, but Zorn has more than enough resistances, so it's all good. Okay, boss tries to deal some damage, fails at doing so, etc, etc, just do your thing. Alright, now Elena is going to Light Shall Bathe the World for the 300% attack magic buff as well as the 200% human killer which we need. Sora, as he has an off turn, he will use Flash Step to add light element to his attack. Zorn will Reflector, he will critical on Elena and elemental on Sora and elemental on himself to refresh all the buffs. Now if you want to, you can use Lagoon Shell, I'm just gonna use it, and Healing Ripples to refresh buffs or get even better buffs. Zorn does his thing. Tifa and Riku just guard. Boss repeats. I've done so many attempts on this boss, I'm really sick of it at this point. It's even worse than the magic boss last Dark Visions, because that one was on Ibarra pretty much, and this one is on properly chaining Sora's LB. Okay, it's turn 4. I didn't check. Okay. Yeah, we need to hide Zorn, so Zorn, get out of here. Tifa is going to double Dispel again. Dispelga. Target herself. Perfect, that worked. Sora, Gusty Attack. Phasey, Heated Beach Volleyball, Healing Ripples. We don't need to, everyone's good to go already. Riku and Elena just guard. Okay, rinse and repeat on the boss. Okay, turn 5. All we'll be doing is double up, critical on Zorn, elemental on Zorn. Reason being, his buffs last only 3 turns at this point. Let's refresh it all. And as you can see, everything lasts 5 turns again. The rest of the team has nothing to do, literally. So all of them just guard. Starlight Elena will now shift back on the next turn, and we will start powering up for the kill turn. However, Zorn will hide one more time. Okay, Zorn, get out of here. Bye. Starlight Elena will limit. Riku will limit. But before we do that, let's have Tifa dispel the team. Target self. That worked. Excellent. So, Starlight Elena goes first. I should not have done that. Let's go back and wait for the lag animation to finish. The reason, the fact that Gumi hasn't fixed that yet, it's beyond me. I don't think they will ever fix the laggy LB of Elena. Alright, Riku, no, not Riku, Sora, sorry, Gusty Attack again. Phasey is going to use Heated Beach Volleyball and Healing Ripples. Riku limits to break the boss. Sora, Gusty Attack, Heated Beach Volleyball. Okay, now we will power up one last time before we actually do the kill now. Okay, Sora shifts. I hope you can't hear the kids outside. If so, I'm sorry. Sora uses Radiant Brands. Riku powers himself up with Dark Maelstrom, Dual Trigger, Dark Break. Yep. Tifa shifts and gets herself ready with Awakened Fighting Spirit. Shoreline Phasey shifts back and uses her LB, which amplifies light by 25%. As you can see over here, physical and magical is increased by 25% for the whole team. Starlight Elena will Gemini, Lux, STMRs. Let's have her attack first, so we don't deal that much damage to the boss. Mastermind Zone will project. Let's have Tifa do her thing, Sora does his stuff. Let's not chain anyone here. Okay. Phasey uses LB and Zorn shares. Okay. Let this be the last time I have to do all of this again. Let this be the last time I have to do all of this. Okay. Now, Mastermind Zone. And here's the trick I'll be using to not have the chain break, hopefully. Zorn and Elena will use double bolting strike, so paralyzing darkness twice, as well as obscure solitude, so BS, AR in the chain. Elena will Gemini, and Aqua Lux Blade. Sora is going to LB, Riku shifts and limit bursts. Tifa, limit bursts. Phasey, coastal combination twice. And we are looking at a 151 chain score. Let's do this. Okay, so big numbers. Let's hope this is a cap. I don't know, but this looks good. This looks good. Let's hope it's just not a very small integer at the end that messes this up. Finally, it's over. It is over. I'm so happy. Oh boy. Thank you. Rank 1 again. Yeah. Glitch out game. I don't care at this point. We've done it. Huge shout out to Jay Hyphy on the FFBE Discord at this point. He was the one who suggested to me to use a double AR chain at the end to not have the chain break, because on the previous attempt, and I will just include this at the very end, what the attempt, or my last attempt before this kill attempt, looked like. You're going to see something messed up, and it was Sora's LB which broke the chain on the very last hit. I was super confused and super enraged at this point. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this guide helped you if you're running into the same trouble that I did with Sora's LB. It's a huge mess. Yeah. I'm so happy to have this done right now. Alright. Also, if you're using the same team I am using, I can give you my macro, because this macro is foolproof. I've tried this macro on the training dummy a few times, and a few times means 20 times. I really wanted to make sure that this macro does not break under any circumstances. So this macro is 100% fail proof. So if you want to have this, just give me a shout out in the comments, and I will just link it to you pretty much, or just copy paste it into the comments, because I can't put it in the description. I think it has some signs that are not allowed on the YouTube description. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. Also, let's go through how much I spent on this, because that might be interesting, because I've spent way less than the last time. So what did I spend? I spent €1 C ticket, or €8 C tickets for Awakened Rain's STMR. It was quite handy on, I believe I used it on Elena. I don't remember anymore. You've seen the gearing beforehand. Yeah, Knight's Medal. That is Awakened Rain's STMR. It helped a lot. I used it previously on someone else. But yeah, I also, like you've seen, I used a lot of Transcendent Pulse. So I'm currently at exactly 0 to EX plus 2 Riku and Sora. But that's pretty much it. I didn't even use that many resources other than Lapis, which is naturally the thing you use to get the units, but that's pretty much about it. I used one STMR ticket for Sora, so one of the additional Soras I got an STMR Moogle from me, so I do have 2 Sora STMRs, but that's about it. And of course I used the Moogles for Riku, so I do have his TMR 3 times in total. As you can see, that's the wrong tab. I do have three of his TMRs, so right, Tifa has one, there's one still available, and one's on Riku himself, so I do have his TMR 3 times, but that's about it. So it was quite of a cheap run. It just took a lot of energy, and as you can see, I can just start this over. I'm down to 181 energy restore or refills, and I was at 405, I believe. So that was quite expensive on the energy tab, but that's about it. Right, so now I will include the last attempt I had before this, just so you can see what happens if you use Sora's LB the wrong way. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope this helps you, and if you need any guidance, let me know and I will try and help you, because let's say I'm an expert at this stupid boss now. I've did way too many attempts on this. Okay, thank you all for watching. Have a nice weekend and see you on probably Thursday again, depending on which unit comes out. If it's Terra, I'm gonna pull. If it's Locker, I will just use some tickets. If it's Laswell, I will pull as well. Laswell is super good, New Vision Laswell. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, we will see each other on Thursday regardless for the 2 weeks of Kingdom Hearts pulls. So yeah, please be excited for that, because I did have some really cool pulls in that. Right, thanks for watching. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye. 680 on Tifa, that is a good one. Chain broke at 103, but that should be fine. What?